You were my childhood crush. I was obsessed. And when
In
I left
what?
in Chronicles of Narnia, of course.
Like what?
In the Chronicles of Narnia, of course.
Yeah.
Come on, were you not there? I told my
Thank you, that's very
boyfriend
nice to
I was
say.
coming to meet you, and he was
Was he
like,
upset?
he was.
sorry.
It comes with the relationship, so I had to tell him that. But anyway, the Institute, I mean, congratulations. It's crazy to think that you just led this production, you know, quite early on in your career, but you did it with such confidence.
Thank you.
How did that feel? And did you have any emotional or mental challenges knowing that you were running the ship?
Yes. I mean, initially when I first got to Nova Scotia, it was like, because I didn't know anybody on the whole continent. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, I'm here all by myself. But it was that night I got my first message from Ben being like, hey man, it's good to be making this show. But truthfully, I never felt like I was leading it. Because I feel like there's such talent everywhere. Not just in front of the camera, but everybody who's so passionate about what they were doing and what their role was. I mean, that's nice of you to say, but I didn't feel like I was
But there is a lot of pressure on that feeling. I remember it actually. You know, I'd done a couple of films. I remember being on that Narnia set at like the first few days. You know, in a forest and very aware of like 100 people looking at you, and they're all quite invested in you doing a good job. And I think, you know, I certainly, like at our first read through, I'd taken this job. I didn't know, you know, Joe's work before, because it wasn't, you know, it was none to find. And I was like, please let him be good. And 5 minutes into the read through, he just sort of looked up. He did a scene and he just looked up at me like that, and I was just like I was like, This is gonna. He's so compelling and engaging. Even just like reading it at our table, and I was like, he's gonna be so good.
Yeah, no, to be so young and doing it as well. But Ben, you've been in the game for time. If you could go back and tell your younger self some piece of advice on his first job, what would you say to little Ben?
I would say actually probably like, don't worry about being a bit braver with it all. Like don't like I would probably try and find a way to encourage him to let go of his fear of judgment about offering stuff up that you've kind of thought about and worked on and put out there, because I think it's quite restrictive when you're worried about how you're going to come across, or whether people are going to sort of judge you or let you do it again or whatever else. And I think, you know, I grew up in a time when, you know, some of those, like, the tabloids and all that stuff could be quite vicious about performances and stuff, and it can be quite, like, disheartening when you're young and you're starting out. And so I think that encouraged me to be a bit more, like, sort of careful and want to serve the story. And as I got older, I sort of let go of some of that, sort of released it as I went, and then you start to kind of decide how you want a character to come across and what do you want to say. And I think after a few years now of me playing like untrustworthy characters and villains and like having a good time being psychos and all of that stuff, to like want to play like a really good man and put that in the universe, that felt like the right thing to be doing now, and playing like a sort of a quieter man with a sort of like a deeper kind of a power to him. And I was like, oh, that feels right to me right now, and I'm not going to like worry about how it comes across. I'm just going to do it.
Because when you're performing, is there that fear, oh, is this too much? And when you were obviously doing your takes, did you find yourself in your head at all, or do you just have to just silence it and just trust that that was enough?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but I try and silence it as much as possible.
Yeah.
Right? Because, you may not feel that was, and it's not a great feeling when you're like, oh, I could have done better, or I didn't like what I did there. But, you know, if the people who are watching it and who have just seen it are happy, then that makes me go, okay.
Yeah.
If you don't like, sometimes, and I got more used to this out in Canada, but to say, can I just have one more go at that? Because it's like we're all here to do the same thing, aren't we? We all want to make this as good as possible.
Yeah. Mindfulness sort of practice in your life is obviously like something that a lot of people do, but for an actor it's quite an important thing to be able to, like, because especially at filmmaking as opposed to like being on stage or something, it's always about capturing a moment that feels real and feels compelling and worth capturing, you know, and you know, each day you're doing a few scenes, but the scenes are split up into these little shots, so you're really, it's very microcosmic, like one little moment, and you're so focused on that to sort of forget that the world is there, and maybe to learn and have an awareness of like how a set works and cameras and, you know, lenses and stuff like that, maybe, but also then ultimately, you know, you're acting opposite someone and you're trying to respond to what they're doing, and being really, really present is like a real power for an actor, and it's also like a real power in life, I think.
No, that's so interesting. And like you said, like, it's not just you, it's just brilliant talent, some great young actors. And watching this, I'm like, I'm young too, but I can imagine young audiences are going to love this. And when I was younger, there was so much young adult fiction and TV shows that I loved, Narnia being one of them. So I wanted to know some of your favourite young adult TV shows.
I want to know that too.
I mean, young adult, because my favourite shows are Breaking Bad and The Sopranos. Classic.
Yeah,
right?
Classics.
But if I was to say that young adult thing, I really like Cobra Kai.
Ooh,
really
obsessed.
See, when I was your age, obsessed with the Karate Kid, the
Yeah,
originals. I still have the original
so
poster from the original Karate Kid movies, like 1989, 7, 9, in my house. I still have that poster up. So
Yeah, I mean, me and my mates, we binged like every season as it came out.
That's so great,
season.
yeah.
I went to the cinema to watch like the sequels for Karate Kid. I got all the way through. All the way through to the next Karate Kid.
Super fan. Let's get you in those films. Cobra Kai, Karate Kid.
Absolutely.
Next ones. Before I give the wrap, one line that stood out to me in particular was Tim's coffee order. And it made me think, and I have to ask you guys, are you matcha obsessed, just like the rest of the world?
Tim's coffee order?
Yeah,
what
like,
do I say?
it was something like an oat with the vanilla syrup or something like that. It was in like episode 2. Yeah. If I had my laptop, I would show you verbatim. Yeah, you don't remember your line,
I don't
man?
remember. Vanilla syrup?
Yeah.
No way that's what Tim ordered.
I'm going to splice it. If I can have the footage, I'm going to put it in this interview, yeah. Yeah. But I want to talk about matcha. I just want to know, are you guys into matcha? Because it's obsessed. Matcha. It's all over the internet right now.
Do you know what?
It's a drink. It's like, you know when you walk around London?
Oh, is it the
green
stuff?
thing, yeah, it's all over.
Oh, I'm not matcha obsessed.
You're not? Okay, clearly, no. Ben, you?
I'm not obsessed, but
Okay.
I do like the flavour. It's like grassy.
It's like earthy, yeah.
It's like grass.
Yeah. Yeah, because there are a few pop culture references in the show, like Twitch, and I was like, are they going to say matcha? But then you just gave a standard coffee order. I was disappointed.
Standard?
Yes.
All sorts of syrups. I don't think that's right. Tim
No,
feels like
trust.
a black coffee drinker.
No, it was definitely
he goes
not
into
black.
The
Yeah.
mini-mart and just gets it.
It was
pumps the
not black coffee. I can swear on my life. It was
No,
like
I
a
was-
special.
it was something.
Yeah, it was something. I was like, oh,
Extravagant.
Tim. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But I'm giving the
I
wrap.
love
But
that.
thank you so much for your time, and nice to meet
Nice
you
to
both.
meet
And
you too.
congratulations. This is big. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.